Hi friends! What do we know about cheetahs? By now, many would probably say that it is a predatory mammal of the feline family, which is found in most of Africa and also in the Middle East, adding that it is the fastest of all land mammals, which in 3 seconds can reach speeds of 110 kilometers per hour. And when you look at it, you clearly realize that nature herself has designed this animal to be a skilled and fast predator. But this data is from Wikipedia. But what are actually these graceful, huge cats? Recently, a zoo showed the whole world. Many people were initially shocked by these videos and photos, but when their story became known, people were surprised and fascinated by everything that was going on. Not so long ago, a zoo in the United States took little puppies into a cage with cheetahs and left them there to live. Probably, one would expect the worst, and indeed one would, because the defenseless little lumps one-on-one with this monster of the animal world. But all is not as it seems at first glance. The fact that this strategy was specifically invented by the organizers of the zoo, all in order that the big cats were not so lonely. Probably few people know, but cheetahs are free-loving and gregarious animals. It's not hard to guess that in confinement, they often experience stress due to limited space, and most importantly, loneliness. In addition, these big cats often have anxiety attacks. They rush about in their cages, they can't find their place, and as a result, they need support. And that is why the pups are introduced to cheetahs. And not only that, but it turns out that dogs have an amazing ability to find a common language with these predators. Of course, if you were to place the puppy with an adult cat, it wouldn't work. The cat would just think of it as dinner. But the little cheetah and the puppy are eager to contact. They start to play and socialize. From a nervous baby predator grows a cheerful pet that is as trusting of people as a dog. Growing up side by side, these animals remain kind and lifelong friends, and even after long separations, sometimes several years apart, they always recognize each other. Exactly the same story happened to Kumbali, a baby cheetah born May 12, 2015 at the Richmond Zoo. Unlike his siblings, he was born very weak, so weak that he didn't even have the strength to fight for food with the other cubs. They hurt him, and he was losing weight and getting weaker by the day, and most likely this beauty would not have survived. But the zookeepers took a desperate step. They understood that his life hung in the balance, so they took him away from his mother, organizing artificial nutrition. With time, the weak cub gained strength and was able to eat on his own. Later, Kumbali was returned to his mother and other cubs, but by that time, the cubs had already forgotten him. Unfortunately, it happens not only in this species. The baby had a hard time again. His birth family did not accept him, and even though he was already physically healthy and full of activity, people understood that he lacked something. He became sad and lonely. All the time he was lying and just staring at one point, and even with the naked eye, it was clear Kumbali was dying of loneliness. The caretakers could no longer watch this heartbreaking picture and came to the rescue again. They decided that if his own family didn't accept him, he had to find a new true friend. And so it happened, but later. The fact was that finding a friend for this boy was a very difficult task. Many criteria had to be taken into account: age, height, and a dozen other things. Still, there was a poor guy like Kumbali. Koko, a teenage dog, was rescued from being put to sleep in one of the shelters. Even despite his young age, he had already endured all the hardships of this life. He was kept in an animal shelter where the conditions were horrible, and the dogs had no bright future. But pet advocates discovered the place, scattered the pets to new shelters, and began looking for new loving owners. That's exactly how the zookeepers found Koko. The playful puppy was perfect for the role of Kumbali's friend and was the same age, but at the time, no one knew for sure if they would get along, if they could find a way to each other, and in general, whether anything would come out of it, because it often happens that new neighbors do not get along. Their first meeting was very exciting. When Kumbali and Koko saw each other for the first time, they were very hesitant. Each of them looked at each other with apprehension and a kind of mistrust, but soon a real miracle happened. Koko slowly walked towards Kumbali, then sniffed him, and after a moment later, he showed that he liked him. He began to crouch and attack the little cheetah, and the little cheetah in turn could not understand what was going on and who was dragging him with teeth by the tail. The little cheetah was strange to see the big fellow in front of him, but soon he also began to show interest in him. Koko's curiosity and friendly nature soon did their work, proving once again that dogs are the best companions for anyone. But at the time, zoo workers could not even imagine how strong this alliance of two such different but with the same fate of animals, and what will result in all this friendship. Over time, Kumbali simply refused to leave his new friend, and they even had to live together in the enclosure. With each passing day, their bond of brotherhood grew stronger and stronger. They played together all day long and invented new games. For example, visitors to the zoo were crazy about their games of hide and seek and chasing. The couple frolicked together all day long, without even noticing that they were growing up very fast. What's also surprising is that Koko always protects his wild brother, and Kumbali, without noticing his predatory disposition, gives his friend the first to eat, letting him go first. Despite the fact that they are in a zoo, it doesn't bother them at all. They don't pay attention to people and play outdoors all day long. They are thick as thieves now. They only sleep together, and cuddling has become an everyday occurrence. From the moment they first met, the pair have done absolutely everything together, from sleeping to eating to playing outside in the fresh air. Every year, the zoo workers give them gifts because now their birthday is always on the same day as Kumbali's. They even print gifts together in a fraternal way. Over several years spent together, these friends have developed something much more than just friendship. They feel like an extension of each other, and are always fun to be in contact with other zoo inhabitants. Well, and of course, people. It's a pleasure to watch these happy friends, and they have become the unofficial calling card of this place. Not so long ago, another pair of serious guys, who you can't put your finger in mouth, came to join the couple in a neighboring enclosure. They are penguins. Initially, they all watched each other warily, but when the caretakers let Koko and Kumbali visit their new neighbors, the unbelievable happened. For the first few seconds, the penguins pinched their visitors pretty badly, but soon they were even playing with them as best they could, and it really looked very angry at the pair of them. They do not know yet that soon this mini pig, who does not give them rest, will be a huge 100-kilogram animal, and then it will be even more interesting to watch them play. It's been a long time since they first met, but the cheetah and the dog still live in the same enclosure and enjoy every new day. They do everything together, entertaining visitors with their playful chases and touching hugs and affectionate relations. This story proves once again to all of us that even outwardly, and by their way of life, different animals can get along well and create lasting, incredible friendships, which cannot be said about us people. Perhaps we still have something to learn from them. Write in the comments, did you like this unusual couple? Do you believe in true friendship? See you soon, and bye!